The first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you.
As much as I enjoy vibe coding for sure, which I define as spending less than 20% of your actual time in the IDE coding yourself, and the remainder of the time just asking GPT-5 to fix the same damn bug, I was harmed by this as a junior developer. The first point I have is repeats, aka I call this not learning at all. This is the biggest caveat I have. I've asked a question to the AI, and after 5 days, I had to ask the same question again to the AI, proving that I didn't learn shit from that experience. It's like, instead of getting your own girlfriend, like instead of trying to engage someone and then create a decent relationship, you just pay a hooker to come and be your girlfriend for you, where you exchange your money for that time. And when the time is up and you cannot pay anymore, you've actually learned nothing about building an actual relationship. My second point is the mind fog. Of course, right now, if I'm doing vibe coding, I either use Sonnet or GPT-5. The problem is you just sit there not doing anything. As you can't really multitask problems unless they are that easy for you, you're stuck between the stupid dilemma, thinking your own solution for this complex problem versus waiting for AI, and also wondering if your solution would be even better than the AI, because as a junior developer, you don't know anything. If you use 90% of your time just vibe coding, and if you zone out a lot, it just means you don't even spend in front of the IDE. You just sit around looking at Reddit or Twitter, X, because you just zone out. Of course, I could use other models like Gemini, Grok, and open source models that have faster times of responding. But who uses an LLM built more than 2 months ago? You just don't want to think. You just want to sit down and you just want to pay $20 to become a programmer yourself. Third problem I have with this is not being connected with the system at all. If I worked alone or like in a very small team on a small project and I can remember most of its parts, this makes debugging and doing modifications infinitely easier. But when I have Lovable or Cursor code up a project for me, suggest something for me, and I put it in an IDE, then I have no fucking clue where to go for what to do. It's literally like reading a project someone else wrote. The most fun part of a project is the first like 2,000, 3,000 lines you write where you don't know what you're gonna do. But since it's so small, you know literally everything about the code base. It's like you nurture it to growth. That is, maybe I'm dramatizing like how I'm looking at projects because I like coding. The fourth problem is the LLM choke. As a junior developer, the average newest frontier model is quite a bit better than the average junior developer. And it's very fun to RTS. The LLMs have 3 agents go there, 5 agents do that. The problem is one of the RTS agents will choke trying to do the same thing, and you're a junior developer. The LLM, as the foot soldier, asks you, the general, to join the battlefield. But you don't have any idea how the battlefield looks like. And when you like try to get down there and actually join the field and like start coding by yourself, you have to jump in at the heat of the battle. You need to understand what is where, and that is extremely boring and cumbersome. In this scenario, people do one of 3 things. A, do away with AI for good, since a lot of people expect AI to have this pyramid of knowledge where they have a very strong foundational base. But when they see that AI lacks even that, then they just assume that it's not good for anything at all. It's not like that actually, because AI is optimized for the metrics, the leaderboards, and the leaderboards usually have difficult problems that the AI must solve, but that doesn't mean the AI will be good at doing like more basic tasks just because it is optimized for the harder ones. It has this like dots at the top type of learning structure where like it is optimized for these like small domains of difficult tasks that occur frequently in the benchmarks. And we try to push through the entire thing with Cloud Opus Max, just loading up Cursor with money and explode their own bank account basically. Or C, scrap the project completely and do something else because of aforementioned fake confidence that the LLM gives you, and you think you can do any project, especially the ones where you don't know what you actually have to do. You just have this hazy idea of what you need to do, and you think you can do it just because the LLM can code up like a very non-functional MVP for you. Coding isn't hard with volume. Coding is actually hard with getting the tasks done to begin with. To achieve solutions that are both sustainable for the programmer and for the user, that is the hard part, not producing a lot of code. And the fifth point is people think vibe coding is faster. In a very fundamental sense of producing the most amount of lines, vibe coding is indeed faster. But you will have to fix the bugs, which will take you more time than starting from scratch since you don't know the code base at all. Good things require sacrifice. Investing in yourself requires sacrifice. Vibe coding clashes with both of these goals. Vibe coding is way more a commoditized product than a skill for developers. Unless you have a higher level of understanding than the LLM, then what the LLM produces will be the same for everyone below the level of the LLM. Fundamentally, the program you want to create is a world you want to imagine. And you cannot imagine this world without a level of knowledge. You can only guess at a superficial level about what it should look like. For example, if I say a web app and the only thing that comes to your mind is a React Native web app or Angular or just Tailwind CSS, then you are missing out on 95% of the world that exists without that. So this will drive up spending and the amount of software that is actually created and the amount of software that needs to be debugged and fixed and added new features to. Programmers will just have more things to do. Man, I really have a lot of fun vibe coding and I still do it all the time. I just spend, I think, way too many hours in front of an IDE, especially Cursor. But right now I'm trying to make it a habit where I sit there and just type stuff with my own hand, especially code that makes your app function. And I record this as a reminder to myself that as vibe coding is very fun and it gives you a lot of confidence, you shouldn't be over-reliant on it. There is a net positive impact as your peer programmer, as a junior developer who's looking for growth in his own skills and who wants to invest in his own future. You have to be the foot soldier before you become the general. When the time comes and you have to actually produce something at scale and something that just functions for a lot of people and brings in revenue. Well, thank you all for listening and see you in the next one.